So it's day one, all by myself in the hotel room. Kind of going crazy. EJ went to bed early, so I've literally been sitting in the room watching TV, which I don't normally watch TV, so I talked to Bray a couple times, which for those of you who don't know, that's my son. I really miss him. That's probably the hardest part. But I know it's for the best. And things will be okay. Sorry. So today getting a room was kind of difficult. My company told me to go to one place, but that place didn't want to rent a room out to me unless my company reserved it. So that was irritating. I drove 4 hours today. I fell asleep in the car because I was exhausted. I woke up at 4 o'clock with EJ because we met up in Vegas last night. So we woke up at like 4 o'clock this morning, or we woke up at about 3 and we got running at 4, both in opposite directions. So I drove until 6 and then I was way too tired. I was targeting, which for those of you who don't know, it's when you're staring at one object until it gets like right there, and then you just keep staring at other stuff. Like you move your eyes to one thing and you just stare at that until it's gone, and then you find something else. So I was doing that, and it was really hard for me to maintain control of the wheel. So like now that I know my limit when I'm gonna be truck driving, it won't be so hard for me to tell that I'm tired and maybe like, okay, I need to stop. So that was nice for me to be able to push myself to my limit, find my limit, and then, you know, overcome it. But I slept for 30 minutes, which is recommended. When I was in my driver qualification class last week, they told us that when we get tired, we should pull over and take a nap, and we should sleep no longer than 30 minutes, otherwise you start getting into REM, and then if you interrupt your REM cycle, then you're all sorts of messed up. Different people have different REM cycle times, but typically it's an hour and 30 minutes. That's the standard REM cycle time. So if you sleep over 30 minutes and you don't sleep for an hour and 30 minutes, then you're just really groggy and tired. So I slept for 30 minutes and I went back on the road, and I got here about 10 o'clock. I talked to the place that my company sent me to, they told me, no, we can't help you, sucks to be you, which was really irritating. And I looked up a couple hotel places, like everywhere was booked. So then I decided to come to the place that I'm staying right now and see what they could work out for me. And I'm gonna advertise for them because they were pretty awesome. It's Travelers Inn. They gave me a CDL discount before I even asked. She saw my badge for my company, my ID badge that I had on my purse, and she gave me the discount. And then when I told her how long I needed it, she gave me another discount because they do weekly rates. So I ended up saving about $100. So that was pretty nice. Also, my room has a mini fridge and a microwave. So that was really nice because now I don't have to worry about money as much because I won't be eating fast food every day. Also, that's going to help me lose weight, which is something that everybody has been getting on to me about. So that's nice. Driver qualification class. Oh, it was awesome. Probably one of the best parts so far. So basically, you're in a room. Depending on your company, would depend on the size. My company, basically, there were only four of us. I was the only girl, of course. And the other people were experienced drivers, so like all the information they didn't really care to know, but it was really educational. We talked about trucker hours, DOT standards, shop inspections, company gives a bonus, so we talked about the bonuses. I learned something called the Smith system for people who have driven trucks or have driven for a living. A lot of you guys would know what that is, but for those of you who don't, it's a defensive driving course. And basically we spent a whole day watching videos and implementing it. So all of us got to drive 3 times, and then we got to watch the other people drive and grade them. So that was pretty nice. I was the only person who got 100%. Yay! I was pretty stoked because like right before I drove, the teacher said that he would never give anybody 100%. And he was looking really hard for things for me to mess up on. I did run over the curb, just full disclosure, but that wasn't on the checklist, so I got 100%. So I'm just gonna take it as I got 100%. Other than that, that's pretty much the driver qualification course. The last day I was just trying to get everything taken care of to come to Phoenix. I had to get my badge, my company card, I had to talk to the terminal manager, I had to talk to safety. I really want to get in a truck. I'm so anxious to get in a truck. I'm dreading training, like being out on a truck with another woman. Dreading it so bad. The thoughts that just keep going in my mind is like, I grew up with 2 sisters, and they were very territorial, very at my throat all the time. I couldn't do this, I had to do this. I don't know if that was because I was the baby or if it was because, you know, that's just how women are. But in my experience, like, I don't get along with females. I don't know what it is. It's just like a chick looks at me and like automatically hates me. I've heard from other females that it's because I'm very intimidating, but I don't, like, I try not to come off as intimidating. Like, my mom says I'm this gentle giant, which is true. Like, if a girl were to be my friend, like, I would be their best protection. Like, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it, but like, I like helping people and I don't like people being treated unfairly. But like, when I'm treated unfairly, I don't care. So like, when I see my friends have an unjust thing going on, I'm like, no, you don't do that. But then when people treat me shitty, I'm just like, all right, whatever, that's cool. But yeah, I'm really scared to go into another female's truck because, like, I've heard horror stories of trainers being like, oh, you could have this corner of the truck and it's like 3 inches of space to put all of your stuff there, plus you have your bed, and that's all the space you have. And like, that would just be horrifying for me. I mean, I don't take up a lot of space, but when I was in EJ's truck, like, I took up half of it, basically, with all my clothes and everything. Then I've also heard horror stories of trainers not teaching and just letting the student drive, and the student doesn't know how to drive. Like, so I'm in Phoenix to get my CDL, and I'm not gonna know how to drive. Like, I'm gonna know how to drive in the way that DMV wants you to get your license, but like, I'm not really gonna know how to drive, if that makes sense. So when I get in the trainer's truck, like, they have to teach me how to drive. They have to teach me the rules of the road, and all that other stuff. And like, there are trainers out there who don't do that, which is kind of crappy. But you know, in every business you have people who don't do their jobs. So a lot of trainers are just there for the extra miles and extra money, to be honest. But I'm just really afraid of all the horror stories that I've heard. And I don't want to deal with it. I've also heard stories of trainers taking their students to like really bad places to drive, like New York or other parts of the East Coast, Chicago, there were some other really bad places that I've heard. Also sitting in a place in Dallas. Dallas is really bad for trucks. They have a black market where people steal stuff out of trucks. So, like, my company makes it to where we can only park in the yard in Dallas and Atlanta. Otherwise, we can't park. No truck stops at all because theft is so bad there. But yeah, so I'm just scared. Really, really scared. I'm trying to take it one day at a time, but I'm really, really bad at that because I have to have a plan for everything. So, like, that's driving me crazy. A good thing about this job is that I can't plan. Like, I can't plan anything. I can't plan where I'm gonna sleep. I can't plan where I'm gonna eat. Can't plan anything unless the company tells me to. Can't do it. This video is kind of getting long. Alright, well, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Kind of an emotional day. So, peace.